everyone. Welcome to USA Global TV, home of Talking Heads. And hello to our friends listening on Business Talk Radio. I'm Dr. JACALYN KERBECK, and our show right now is Happy Seniors on the Go. I'm so thrilled that we're doing this program. We've been getting a lot of really good feedback, and I know that has a lot to do with my co-host. He is a keynote and motivational speaker and author and consultant. Let's welcome Fred KIENLE. Hi, Fred.
Well, hi, JACALYN. How are you doing today?
Well, now that I'm seeing you, I'm doing very well. Thank you. I love your energy and your positive attitude all the time.
That just was a God-given gift. I've just been lucky to be able to carry it around with me.
Well, you carry it well, sir. So congratulations on that. Fred, I'd love if you would just share with our audience, why is it that you do this show? What does it mean to you?
Well, I do a lot of work with seniors. I do a lot of seminars about, their attitude, either whether it's health, whether it's their faith, gratitude, laughing, anything. But I do a lot of work with assisted living homes. And I call them my treasured seniors. Even though I'm 76 years old, they are a wealth of knowledge, and I just love working with them. And I love inspiring them and encouraging them to have a better attitude about anything they do, whether it's finances, relationships, or their health. So that's what interests me, just keeping them motivated and them lifted up so that their life can be better, and the people around them, they can encourage them to be better too.
Thank you, Fred. And I want to share with our audience, this is just the kind of guy that Fred is. I just mentioned to him backstage a project that I'm looking to get started with a group of people. And I asked him if he might be interested. And he didn't say, oh, I don't want. No, he's like, you know what? Let's talk about it, which I absolutely love. He's open, and he just has this incredible attitude. And we also have a guest with us today who has an amazing attitude as well. Before we bring out our guest, Fred, I'm going to spotlight you again, and I just want you to share with our audience, our listeners, and our viewers some of the work that you do as a keynote and motivational speaker, author, and consultant.
Well, most of the thing that I've been doing, especially during when COVID hit, I've been doing a lot of my seminars. I do safety with an attitude, leadership with an attitude, health with an attitude, faith with an attitude, laughing with an attitude, all of these things about attitude via Zoom. And because I had to pivot and regroup, and I can't do them live anymore, they really shut down the assisted living homes and a lot of the senior places and a lot of the corporations that you couldn't get into live. So I've been doing that via Zoom, and they've been working out real well. I published my book, my third book, Health with an Attitude, last year, and it's been doing very well on Amazon. And I'm working on a fourth book called Leadership with an Attitude, about you don't have to be a boss to be a leader. And it's coming along really well. I got 7 chapters into it, and hopefully by the end of this year, I'll be able to publish it.
Well, congratulations. That's outstanding. It really is. And I want to say hi to a mutual friend, Mr. Red O'Laughlin. Hello, Red, if you're out there watching on the live or on the replay. It's nice to know we've got...
How you doing, buddy?
He's another wonderful person. Yeah. So I want to bring out our guest. His name is Dr. Philip Chan. He has accomplished so much, and I asked him before the show what he wanted to, how he wanted to be introduced, and he said just by his name. This man is, first of all, so humble and kind and generous. He is a person who says yes, it's seemingly to everything, to everyone. And I've joked about this with him before. He doesn't seem to ever sleep, because I see at 3:00 in the morning, he's answering something that I asked him, and it just fascinates me. So he is the 10 seconds math expert in the world. He's doing a lot of work with UNICEF. He works with children. He's an author. I mean, we could go on and on and on. So I don't want to take up the whole show by me talking about him. Let's bring him out and hear from him himself. Dr. Philip Chan. Hi, welcome.
Hello, Dr. Jackson. Hello, Fred. Thank you for having me on your shows. So I really appreciate that.
Well, it's an absolute pleasure. And what some of our audience might not know is that you have introduced me to so many amazing people who have been guests on our show. And if we have an opening, I reach out to Philip and I'll say, do you have anybody who wants to be on the show? And he always comes through. So thank you so much for that. I just want to thank you publicly.
You're very welcome. It's a pleasure.
Great.
Dr. Philip Chan, I'd like to start off with, this show is Happy Seniors on the Go. And I didn't even think you were a senior, by the way. So thank you for for that transparency. But what does it mean to you to be happy? What is happiness to you?
Well, for me, the happiest is actually seeing people I love, uh, especially my grandkids, to be happy, and also my close friends, and to seeing them achieving that, to me is, is very important as part of my happiness, to see them achieving their goals or dreams, or whatever they, to do something that they've never done before.
That's beautiful. Thank you.
Wow, nicely said. Well said, Dr. Chan. Let me ask you a question. You do a lot of work with children with, improving their math skills and everything. I was reading part of your bio and your books and stuff. They're fantastic books, and the way you associate numbers and multiplication tables with, association wise, that's a fantastic trait and skill to learn. Do you do the same thing with seniors?
Yes, my youngest pupil is 3 years old. My oldest senior is 92.
Oh, 92, that's pretty good. Wow. A youngster, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. That's fantastic. Well, I do a lot of name memorization by the same thing you do, with associating numbers and multiplication tables with something, that you're familiar with. And I do the same thing with names. And I worked on yours, and I said, if I fill up a can, it will be Dr. Philip Chan, right? So, so association with things is great, and your books are just fantastic.
Yes, my claim to fame actually is, when I was at school, I was at bottom in every single subject, including mathematics. And it's only when I got to age 14, I started to improve. I started to do the research, found out all these wonderful methods been around for hundreds of years.
Wow.
And then from then on, it's history. And then into over something like 25, 30 weeks, I was bottom in every class in Set 10 to actually move up to Set 2. But I've never got to Set 1.
Wow, fantastic. That's great.
Dr. Chan, I'm wondering, because you do work so much with children, what would your senior self say to your younger self about, the experience that you had? Because I'm sure that you and I have spoken before, but that can really have a big impact on your confidence level and how you see the world and how you see opportunities for yourself. So what would you say to your younger self today?
Well, I can remember going home from school, crying my eye out, because I wasn't achieving anything. My friends were doing okay with their homework, and it takes me anything from 3 to 6 hours to do the homework, and often I will get it wrong. And I said to myself, if one day I start to improve, I don't want ever, you know, anyone to experience what I had to go through, and those tears and crying every night. So that for me is a perfect motivation.
I love that. That's excellent. So the question that I have for both of you is, in your experience, is working with a senior different than working with someone of a different age? I'll start with you, Fred.
Sometimes depends on the subject. A lot of times, the learning patterns basically the same. Whether you're younger or you're older, I just noticed there's a lot of similarities between the young folks and the older folks. I did my success with an attitude seminars for a lot of kids in high school and college, and the patterns that they learn by are pretty much the same in general as the ones that my age and older.
Thank you. Dr. Chan?
Yes, I agree, and I don't see any difference between an older person and a younger person, because in terms of the attitude, with the right attitude,
That's the key to me.
it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
Attitude is definitely.
you
Go ahead,
mentioned
Fred.
you mentioned, Dr. Chan, that this RAS, this reticular activated system in learning, and
Yeah.
that's pretty much, the association and things like that. And it's something that we all pretty much have
Yes.
as a learning tool, right? It's almost
Yes.
something that's inherent that we do automatically, right?
Yes. I normally say, the obvious is not obvious until it's obvious.
Ah,
And when we teach people to recognize simple patterns, simple workability skills, all of a sudden something that seemed difficult, becomes very easy. So, and also a lot of time, anything that's difficult is made up of actually a number of smaller steps. And when we learn to break things down and teach people to break things down, all of a sudden the onus is the task is not as bad.
wow.
Thank you.
Thank
I,
you.
I was wondering, and I'll ask this to both of you also, is at some point in when I was growing up, it's like you would work to a certain age, right? And the golden years, and you're going to take the rest of the time. And I said this to you before, Fred. I think you'd go fishing, go out on a boat, whatever it is you're going to go do. And what it seems like people are working longer, later, getting a second chapter of their life, a third, a fourth, a fifth. So, what plans do both of you have for your future? Are you at some point are you going to say, "Hey, I'm done with this work, this shirt and tie, this, whatever it is"? How do you feel about that, Fred?
No, no, as long as I'm still on the green side of this God's green earth, I'm gonna keep doing something. I just can't sit still, and I want to share what I do because, I think Mark Victor Hansen, who helped write Chicken Soup for the Soul, one of his sayings is, "I'm going to live to 125 with an option to renew," and in doing so, I want to keep contributing. Because that's what keeps me. Uh, Inspired. That's what keeps encouraging. That's what gets me up in the morning.
I love it. Thank you, Fred. How about you, Dr. Shan?
I totally agree, because obviously, you know, um, we have a very odd view about retirement, because obviously if you actually enjoy what you're doing, then retirement isn't retirement at all. You just enjoy, carry on what you're doing, and also to share with people the skills and help them to edify them as well.
Exactly. And then even though you're in your semi-retirement or whatever you want to call it, you can still go fishing. You can still walk the dog, grow a garden, do painting, do whatever you want to do. You can still do those things and still keep involved with helping others.
Yes.
It's
Yes,
so true.
absolutely.
And I think I shared that I retired from my corporate career last year, right as the pandemic started, and I'm having so much fun. I am having, like, I never could have imagined that I'd be doing what it is I'm doing, and I'm excited for whatever the next chapter is. And what I found is by having this incredible blessing to have this platform is that most people on the various shows during the pandemic reinvented themselves in some way. They took on something that they didn't want to take on or hadn't taken. It's just incredible. So Dr. Chan, what's next for you? What are some of the things that you're looking to accomplish in the future?
Well, for me, I'm getting on a bit now, and I'm not going to be around for forever. It's really to um, find other people, to teach other people to do what I can do, so they can take over from me and to share the knowledge when I'm gone.
Wow, great.
And also, I do a lot of book mentoring, so I work with two of my friends on book publishing. We have now have over 25 kids who are under 17 who are now published. And my 16-year-old business partner now, he's actually published 14 books now.
Did you say your 16-year-old partner?
Yes.
Great.
Trey Sean Ben Salmi.
Oh, sure. He's fantastic. We've had him on the show before.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's taken him in the last 4 years to publish 14 books, and it's taken me, you know, over 50 years just to publish 10 books.
Wow. Great. He'll keep
a lot
me
of
young, right?
a lot of books between you for sure. Fred, what are you looking to have accomplished in your future?
I hope I can. You never know who you touch. You never know when you throw a pebble in a pond, the ripples go out. You never know when what you've done to motivate or encourage or inspire someone, that ripple effect will touch other people. It's like I've met teachers that they did such a great job in school with training and teaching kids. And then they later on in years, way later on in years, these kids come back and tell them how much they have affected their lives. And so I hope that some of the inspiring and motivational things that I do will encourage enough people out there to leave a legacy about, even if it doesn't include my name, that they have been inspired just to be more active, more creative, and be more active in what they do, regardless of what it is.
Well, you both inspire me, that is for sure. So I know you're inspiring many, many people, which I'm so glad that you're both here to do this show. We are going to take a break and hear from some of our sponsors. And I've been playing this clip a lot because I think it's so important. It's called the Earthshot Prize. And I want to thank Ian Pelham-Turner and Helena Shard for sharing it. But it really puts a lot of focus on what's happening in our world, on our planet, in our communities. So let's take a look at that, and we'll hear from another one of our sponsors, and we'll be right back after this. Okay. Happy Seniors on the Go. We'll be right back.
Ours is a world of wonder. Every day it reminds us of its beauty. It touches us, teaches us, and astounds us. But it also warns us that what we throw away does not go away. That higher temperatures mean a lot more than longer summers. That we can no longer take life as we know it for granted.
We are at a unique stage in our history. Never before have we had such an awareness of what we are doing to the planet. And never before have we had the power to do something about that.
We face a series of
Hello and welcome back to USA Global TV, home of Talking Heads, and hello to our friends listening on Business Talk Radio. You are watching Happy Seniors on the Go. And once again, I want to thank Ian Pelham-Turner and Helena Shard for presenting those clips to us, and I think that it's so uplifting, both of them. I just absolutely love it. Our guest today is Dr. Philip Chan, and Philip, I was wondering if you can just share a little bit about the second clip we just watched about the horses. My understanding is that these are the royal horses, and they have the day off, and that's their exercise. Is that true?
Yes, and yes, they love to do the exercise by the seaside, and this is one of the best therapy, for them.
And their coats are magnificent. I mean, the sheen of them. I'm thinking, what are they eating? I need to have some of that.
Well, what apparently a lot of people don't know, for horses' nutrition, they must have 11 well-known nutrition. Although in a human, we don't have to have less any nutrients at all, but for horses, is by law in the UK anyway. You should have 11 nutrients, and also the coastline for horses is actually been well known for years.
Interesting. So it's a law.
Yes.
How about that?
But you see, for human being, there's no single, to say, we must have this nutrition. But for horses, it has to be very strictly specified. You must have these 11 nutrients in their food.
Thank you for sharing that. I love learning things. That's fantastic. And Dr. Philip Chan, I'm wondering if you can share with our viewers and our listeners, how do you keep your mind sharp? Because your mind is so important as a 10 seconds world math expert, and then helping children. Like, what do you do to keep yourself sharp?
I don't really. You see, my title, 10-second maths expert, it's not about me. It's about my students. Because once I have shared with them the techniques, they will be able to do the maths and do the calculation in under 10 seconds. So it's not about me. And also there's a lot more people who can actually calculate much quicker than me. So, the title is about, helping my students.
Wonderful. But are there certain things that you do personally to keep yourself sharp, to keep yourself fit?
I try and do a few exercises now and then, just keep myself working. Even though I've been doing this for a long time, I still need to work at it myself. The problem I have is a lot of my students are now showing me up. So most of them are actually doing this in under 2 seconds now. Wow. So I got serious competitions.
Thank you. And Fred, what do you do to keep yourself sharp?
Breathe. Just kidding. Just keep breathing. You're going to keep your mind sharp. I do, like I said, I've told you before, I was a musician for a long time. I still write songs. I still play a lot of music. And when I can, I'll get back into singing to a lot of these seniors live at these assisted living homes. But I memorize words to songs when you sing, and that keeps, that memory exercise. As long as you keep exercising whatever you're learning, whatever you're doing, whether it's a poem, whether it's math, whatever it is you're doing. I like the chart that you have in your book there. It has 4 sections to it, Dr. Phil. And it starts off with being unconscious and you're not aware of anything. Then the next block over is just become aware that you don't know something. And then it's like, I'm looking at it now, it says, then you actively start working on something that you are aware that you don't know enough about, and you start learning it. That's keeping your mind active. And then in the end, you end up being able to do this skill very completely. And I think it's a wonderful chart. And I equated it right away to learning how to play the guitar. Because when you start learning how to play the guitar, it's really difficult and it's hard and you can't remember. And then doing, chord riffs and stuff. But after a while, if you keep practicing, it becomes almost inherent. and you do it without even thinking about it. It becomes part of your skill set, and then you go into learning something new. So that chart was amazing. I loved it. People should get that book and read it.
Yeah.
And your books are available on Amazon, yes, Dr. Chan?
Yes, my books are on Amazon as well. Yes, indeed.
Fantastic. Well, I think that it's very insightful and inspirational for others who are watching the show to see the two of you and how much energy you have, how much excitement you have for the future. And you don't seem to me, either one of you, like you spend a lot of time looking at what you've already accomplished. You're looking forward. Is that accurate?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. I love what I've done, but I can't wait to do what I'm going to do.
Right, exactly. Well, I think it's wonderful. One thing I want to touch on before we sign up for today, because I think it really touches everyone's life. At some point in our life, we are going to have some kind of adversity, right? It's just, we have to expect it, or we're going to fail at something. And at least in my experience, I'm 58. The older I get, I'm more willing to fail, because I like to try new things. And I figure if not now, then when? So how do you both feel about that? Are you open to taking risks where you could fail? Or have you done enough of that and you're not interested? Dr. Chan, what do you think?
Well, sometimes at my age, it's not so much learning new things, but actually unlearning things that's no longer empowering or is no longer applicable. So part of my journey in the last 30 years is also have been to unlearn a lot of things, because some of the techniques early in my days, 20, 30, 40 years ago, is not applicable anymore. So therefore, it's important to face the music and say, hang on, those things that worked 30, 40 years ago, then nowadays it does not apply. So sometimes for me, it's actually unlearning things as well.
Fascinating. It sounds to me, and I don't know if I'm totally off base on this, but it sounds to me almost like technology, how technology continues to evolve, and you have to unlearn the way you used to do something with a phone or a computer or some type of application. Is it like that, Dr. Chan?
Yes, absolutely. Because my grandkids, laugh at me because I don't know how to use this device.
Well, you're very good on Messenger. I have to say that. You get right back. I'm like, oh, there he is. So thank you. Fred, what would you say about that, about taking risks and learning new things, or maybe unpacking things you've already learned, like Dr. Chan just shared?
Oh, yeah, things that you've already learned. That's true. But if you don't take risks, and in today's world with the new technologies, like you pointed out, that phone is something amazing. It's just unbelievable what the technology is doing today. And as we get older, like you were saying, we face adversity, we face challenges, and some of these new things that, every time my computer does an update, I got to relearn something on how they changed it, whatever it is they've done. But you have to be willing to fail at learning something new. And once you fail, all you do is, you haven't failed anything. You've just learned how to get through that event. Failure is an event. It's not a lifetime thing. It's not a person, or it's just something you work through. And everything we face out here is a challenge. Whether it was when you were younger and you got your driver's license, when you learn how to use a computer, and all of these things, you have to be willing to risk failure, because failure is just something you do and get through it and learn because of it. And when you learn through a failure, you are a winner.
Exactly. I remember when I was in my corporate career, we had a new platform called Salesforce.com, and it was a customer relationship management tool that you had to put all of the client information into. And so there were people who started with the company, and they were older than me, probably 15 years older, and absolutely just refused to learn the new platforms. And they didn't feel like they had to do it because they've been with the company for so long. And yet I looked at it and it even shared it with one of the people that this is a huge learning opportunity. Like, why do I want to learn anything? I don't want to. No, I don't know. I feel like you want to keep learning so you stay relevant. And so I hope one of the things that our audience takes away, whether you're watching live or on the replay, is no matter what age you are, if you have the right attitude, you can take on any challenge. And obviously you have to evaluate the risk, right? Is it worth the risk? But you can take on new challenges and potentially, yes, you may fail, but think about what you're learning. So it doesn't have to be at a certain age you stop learning. No, keep on going.
Yeah, keep going. Don't stop.
Well, I think a lot of people don't make decisions anymore. So the key is to encourage people to make decision, and then to have the backup thing to actually make the decision, and to ask the three simple questions. One, what is the best scenario? What is the worst scenario? What is the most likely scenario?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
That's great. Yes.
Something else I think, and I'd love your thoughts on this. Sometimes the frame of mind that we're in for that moment might not be the best time to make one of those decisions, right? Like, you're evaluating whatever it is, but maybe something just happened to you and you're reacting. Like, for example, maybe you have a corporate job and something happened to you at work, and it's like, I don't want to work here anymore. I can't take it anymore. And you go from an emotional place. And if you gave it some time and then you looked at those three scenarios, you might come up with a different answer.
That's true. That's true. And in the corporate world, you see that a lot because there's a lot of pressure coming from your peers, your bosses, your supervisors, like you say, learning new things, new objectives. And sometimes if your attitude plays such a big part of how you react to things. Remember, we talked last week about, 90% of, 10% of the things that happen to me, and you're going to face adversity, but it's 90% on how you react to it again. And if your attitude is in the wrong mood or something like that, then you do have that. I don't want to work here anymore. I don't like this person. I don't like my boss. I'm going to leave. I'm going home. I quit. But you have to change that perspective and look at things in how you can change your attitude, think clearly about what you're going to do, and come up with a better solution. Because when you're angry, some of the solutions you come up with are the worst ones you could ever imagine. Isn't that right, Dr. Chan?
Absolutely, that's right.
It's like watching a reality TV show that you don't want to be starring in.
That's true. I don't want to be part of that.
Yeah.
Well, as we come to the end of our program, Dr. Chan, what words of wisdom would you like to leave with our audience for today?
I think when you learn something new, don't treat it as a competition to outdo someone else. Just go with attitude. Go learn something new. How can I benefit from learning those new skills, and how can I share those new skills with other people? And it's not about one-upmanship, to be better than anyone.
Absolutely. Good words of advice. And Dr. Chan, if people want to reach out to you, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
Yes, you can find me on Facebook. It's Philip Chan Official. That's Philip with one L, Chan, CHAN, then Official, all one word. And that's probably the easiest place to find me.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for being here. And again, thank you for everything that you do to help me and help this platform. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you.
Well, thank you, Dr. Jackson, and thank you for having me on your show.
Thank you. Take care of yourself. We'll see you again soon.
Dr. Philip Chan, nice meeting you. Take care of that eye, would you?
Sorry?
We wish you great success on your eye, okay? Hope that heals well.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. He's such a wonderful person, wonderful human being. And he's so humble. He really is, because what he has accomplished is just incredible. So thank you again, Dr. Chan. Fred, I'm going to spotlight you, and I'm going to run your banner. And how can people get in touch with you, and who should contact you?
Okay. Mostly on LinkedIn. I do 99% of everything I do out, advertising wise and promotion wise is on LinkedIn. And you can find me there easily. Okay. And the other one is through my email address, which is fkienle, my last name, at AOL.com. Okay, like at the end of the banner there, just fkienle at AOL.com. Send me a message. If you're looking to hire a speaker, you want to motivate your people, your employees on leadership, if you want anything on safety, on success, and all of the health has been great during this pandemic, and faith. So give me a holler and check me out and get in touch with me, because I'd love to help, especially during this time. A lot of people need encouragement. They need uplifting things. The news media is all kind of bad and down. So we need to be motivated, inspired, and encouraged.
Thank you, Fred. And I want to let you know, as a result of watching this show, our friend Hyatt Ives, my friend and a friend of the platform, he's going to be contacting you. He's going to email you with an opportunity. So look for that from Hyatt Ives. And hello, Hyatt. Thank you for watching.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody out there. Thanks, Fred.
Thank you so much. Okay. I'll see you again soon, Fred. I'll see you next week. Thanks for being here.
Yes, ma'am. I'm looking forward to it.
I am too. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Happy seniors.
Happy seniors. Thank you, everyone, for watching. We've had a great day of broadcasting, and we are coming back tomorrow. I'll just share with you some of our shows. So we have a great show with my friend Roland, and it's called the Mallorca Connection. This is a great show because we get to meet people from another part of the world. It's absolutely beautiful there on the island of Mallorca. We also have It's All About Dating. So there are shows for tomorrow, plus the listening mentor. That would be me. So if you're not aware of it, in addition to being this show host and producer and broadcaster, I am actually a certified coach. I'm a certified life coach, a certified meditation coach, a certified yoga instructor, and I give people tips on how to be better listeners. So I do that Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. And if you are really serious about your listening skills and helping for facilitating world peace, please do consider going over to Eventbrite and signing up for one of my Power of Listening seminars. We had one yesterday, and some people had major breakthroughs. It was really moving to watch. I was even in tears at the end at the one section. So if you want to learn how to listen, how to be heard, please do go over to Eventbrite and just put in the search engine, the Power of Listening. I will show you one of our lovely backgrounds so you know what it looks like. This is it. The Power of Music, Voice and Listening, with the wonderful international award-winning singer, songwriter, producer, and author Madeline Chan. And we host this particular seminar together. Okay, the next thing I want to share with you, and then we will wrap for today, is there's a wonderful event coming up. It's called Spin for Cures. And here is the logo. I am a team captain for Spin for Cures, and this is for the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. I am a patient. I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis in 1991, and I am usually sick 3 to 6 months of every year. Thank goodness I'm in remission at the moment. But I am on the board, I'm on the executive committee, and I'm on the Spin event. So I have 3 bikes reserved, and I've committed to raising $15,000. So we are just over $8,000. And our event is November the 13th. We will be live in person in Philadelphia at the Rivers Casino. I've got an incredible group of people on my team, and I've got 3 bikes, as I mentioned. I will be riding one of the bikes for 3 hours. So if you would do me the incredible, wonderful generosity of donating to my team, you can go over to Facebook to JACALYN KERBECK, and you can find right there the link to donate to Spin for Cures. The money goes directly to the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation, And if every one of my friends donated $1, we would be right there. So I really appreciate it as we try to get closer and closer to coming up with a cure. What I can share with you is I run a support group for people for the Crohn's Colitis Foundation. It's the last Tuesday of every month from 5:30 to 6:30 Eastern Time. Today alone, I received 2 emails from individuals who are interested in the support group because they were diagnosed. This month alone, I think I have 5 or 6 people who have reached out that they were just diagnosed. People as young as 3 years old to well into their 80s getting diagnosed with ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease. These diseases cause people incredible pain, running to the bathroom 40, 50 times a day. I personally have 15 inches of bleeding ulcers, and I tell you, the pain is not for the faint-hearted. So we need to do whatever we can to raise money. So again, please go to my Facebook page, JACALYN KERBECK, look for the Spin for Cures event, and if you can donate just $1, I will be so grateful. I remember everyone who donates on my behalf. Thank you so much for being here again. Really appreciate it. Thank you to Fred and to Dr. Chan. We look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. All right, take care. Be good to yourself. Bye.